Welcome. We do not often promote full professors here at Webb, and less often do we honor them with a named professorship. I am happy that you can all join us here today for this celebration with Professor Martin and his wife Stephanie. You will hear from our chairman, Bruce Rosenblatt, several stories about relationships going back many years. Now, we all know that Webb is a close-knit community with close friendships that last many years. What's less apparent is that the naval architecture and marine engineering community is also just like that. It's also a close-knit community with long friendships, as Bruce's stories will attest. I will be short. I have never attended such a ceremony, but I would like to introduce someone who has and who needs no introduction. Please welcome Dean Werner.
Thanks for doing an applause. Thank you, President Martecchini. Good afternoon. It's my pleasure and honor to be with you today as we recognize two critical elements that are fundamental to Webb's continuing success. Those are dedicated faculty members and Webb's network of generous friends and supporters. I would like to take this time to focus on the faculty element. Now, most of us are aware of the significant effort that Webb expends to select an incoming class of 28 students. Interviews, on-campus assessments, class attendance, and overnight visits build upon the standard college applications, transcripts, essays, and letters of recommendation. Webb's substantial investment in time and resources in this endeavor reflects the importance of finding students that can positively contribute to the small, tight-knit community while succeeding academically and growing personally and professionally. Now, if 1 out of 28, or 1 out of 100, is important to the Webb experience, what can we say about 1 out of 10? Given the small size of Webb's faculty, the importance of each individual professor in the pursuit of Webb's mission is significant, much like it is with the carefully selected Webb students. Faculty members serve as the motivating force behind the development of Webb students through teaching, advising, mentoring, and modeling. Webb's demanding, high-contact academic program is challenging for faculty members and students alike. Much is demanded from both sides of the lecture podium and the laboratory benches. Beyond the core syllabi, Webb faculty members help students secure internships and post-graduation jobs through connecting students with their personal industry networks. Professors' personal recommendations help students secure competitive scholarships and spots in graduate schools. And we often say that that students have nowhere to hide. Well, the same can be said of faculty members. Webb faculty members' availability to their students is unprecedented in higher education. Posted office hours do not exist as a thing at Webb. Because if a faculty office is occupied, the door is open to students seeking guidance or support. And daily I witness students engaging professors beyond their offices, in the lecture rooms after class ends, in the common spaces of the Couch Academic Center and Stevenson Taylor Hall, and even in those long, long lunch lines. Not to mention regularly responding to student emails that arrive in one's inbox at all manners of times throughout the day and night, weekends and holidays included. Now, in addition to their direct student-facing activities, Webb faculty members manage the operation of the academic enterprise by serving as laboratory and shop directors and as members of faculty and shared governance committees. Webb professors lead Webb accreditation activities, conduct research, serve on committees of the Board of Trustees, and interact with the industry while continuing to develop professionally as educators and within their area of expertise. They create and revise course materials and assignments while continually refining Webb's curriculum. Professor Martin joined Webb in the middle of his professional career. And like many of Webb's faculty members, he possesses experience as a practicing engineer, which we strongly believe can be a valuable attribute in the classroom and in the laboratory. An electrical engineer by training and education and practice, Professor Martin's specific expertise in marine electrical engineering made him uniquely qualified for the electrical engineering professor position at Webb. Upon joining the faculty, Professor Martin quickly took to teaching. Despite a lack of formal experience as an instructor, he found success both in the classroom and the laboratory settings. He rapidly took on many roles that Webb faculty members had, acting student advisor, thesis advisor, laboratory director, mentor, and committee member. Professor Martin stepped up to the challenge of replacing Assistant Dean Harris as Webb's Middle States Commission on Higher Education, aka Middle States Assessment Coordinator. Not an easy job. Most recently, he's become the advisor to Webb's very successful MECC team. In all of these endeavors, he has found success through his skills, expertise, enthusiasm, energy, and hard work. Now, during his time at Webb, Professor Martin has maintained an active role in the maritime community, which allows him to bring updated practices and relevant experiences back to the classroom and to support student theses. He's a fellow in SEAM and remains active in that organization. Finally, Professor Martin is an excellent colleague. He is hardworking, team-oriented professional with sound judgment, excellent communication skills, and a very positive disposition. His sense of humor, level-headedness, and practical approach to situations makes him fun to engage with, both at the professional and personal levels. In summary, Professor Martin is what Webb looks for in a faculty member. When Dean Nielsen offered Professor Martin the position back in 2015, I feel he and the faculty search committee clearly chose wisely. And fortunately for all of us, Mike Martin chose to become a Webb. I would like to offer Professor Martin hearty congratulations for his well-deserved promotion to full professor and the honor of being named the third Mandell and Lester Rosenblatt Professor of Marine Electrical Engineering. Now, Professor Martin will follow in the footsteps of two Webb faculty legends who held the professorship before him, Professor Emeritus Alan Rowan and Professor Emeritus Ed Williams. Professor Martin, may you continue to succeed and find enjoyment as a member of the Webb faculty and as you travel the path towards your own Webb legend status. I ask that Mr. Bruce Rosenblatt, Chairman of the Webb Board of Trustees, now comes to the podium to speak.
Thank you very much, Dean Werner. How lovely it is to be with all of you today on this very special occasion for Professor Mike Martin. I'm especially pleased that Mike's lovely wife, Stephanie, whose family I have known my entire life, could be here as well. The write-up in the program mentions a bit about both my grandfather and father. And like my father, neither of us were Webb graduates, but we both cherished our association with the school. The family firm, M. Rosenblatt & Son, was quite large, over 1,000 employees at times, and it was around for over 50 years. Mike's father-in-law, Stephanie's father, Dominic Skeeter, worked there for almost 45 years, running the electrical section of our office in Lower Manhattan. The Skeeter and Rosenblatt families attended each other's family events, and I loved it when Dominic would tell me stories about my grandfather and father. The plot thickens a bit because in the summer of 1975, at the age of 16, and when we were both working summer jobs at Rosenblatt & Son, I had a crush on Stephanie's older sister. Now, 49 years later, and after 37 years of marriage, I can assure you not to read too much into that, yet I digress. 30 or so years ago, we heard that Dominic had hired a young, new graduate electrical engineer named Mike Martin. What we didn't know at the time were two things. One, that Mike Martin was dating Dominic's youngest daughter, Stephanie. And two, we didn't know how great Mike really was. Mike has the education and professional license to prove it. But to me, even more important was his common sense and how he picked up on everything as if he had known it for years. Mike was just a natural, and how fortunate the Webb students are that the practical marine industry experience Mike would learn with us and others is now helping make all of you more well-rounded naval architects and marine engineers. Today's program briefly mentions a few of the many highlights of Mike's career, but to me, I'm just thankful that this extremely talented and practical marine electrical engineer. Additionally, ended up being good at teaching, and all of you get to benefit from that marine industry experience and knowledge. Were my father alive today, he'd be very proud of Mike, as I am. And I am overjoyed at you being appointed the third Mandell and Mr. Rosenblatt Professor of Marine and Electrical Engineering. Congratulations, Mike.
Move over there. Bruce? Some photos for the books. Congratulations.
Thank you. Mark, thank you. Thank you to President Martecchini, Dean Werner, and to Chairman Rosenblatt for those kind words. Thank you all for coming out today. I really appreciate it. It's very touching to see all of your faces. I've actually known Bruce, as he mentioned, and his wonderful family for over 30 years. And Rosenblatt and Son was the first job that I had out of college, and it was there that I really gained a deep appreciation of the marine industry. You know, it was being part of such a close-knit group of people and learning new stuff that made me want to stay in the marine industry. I was actually lucky enough to have been at MRNS when both Lester and Bruce were working there, when Bruce's father was there. And as Bruce mentioned, my wife's father had worked for many years at Rosenblatt and Son, and he actually was working at MRNS with both Mandell, Lester, and Bruce Rosenblatt for a time. So this honor obviously has a very special significance to me. You know, in addition to the honor of being a professor at Webb and being part of this great family, it's also part of a legacy from my family. So it really has a lot of special significance to me personally. You know, the Rosenblatt family and Bruce's commitment and generosity to the marine industry, and particularly Webb, is well known. I can also say that they've always been very generous to me professionally and very gracious to me personally. It's just a wonderful family, and Bruce is a wonderful guy. It's amazing to me how quickly 8 years have gone by at Webb. You know, it obviously means that I enjoy being here. I enjoy being part of all the things that are Webb. And it's mostly due to the privilege I have of the people that I work with. You know, since I've come to Webb, as Bruce mentioned, not having had any formal experience or training in teaching, the support of the amazing faculty, the administration, and the staff has been truly wonderful. You know, everyone's made me feel part of something special, and this place is something special. And of course, working with our students is extremely rewarding. You know, each year I get to meet a new group of intelligent, interesting, and hardworking individuals, and I get to watch you all grow during your time here at Webb. You know, it's truly, for me, a privilege to be part of that process, and I hope that I can continue to do that for a long time. So thank you again for the honor, and especially to Bruce and his family, for the Rosenblatt family, for this special professorship. I truly appreciate it. Thank you all.